Moment for God.
A moment with God can change everything. Listen, reflect, and be blessed. Here's today's scripture.
Welcome along. And today we're really zoning in, just one single verse from the source we're examining, Ephesians chapter 4, verse 27. It just reads, "And do not give the devil a foothold." Now, when I first hear that, foothold, it sounds big, like maybe some huge spiritual battle.
Right, it has that kind of weight to it. That a foothold here isn't necessarily like this giant invasion.
Okay.
It's more about even the smallest opportunity. Think of like a little crack in a wall.
Ah, okay. A crack.
Just a tiny opening that an enemy can use.
An enemy. And use it for what?
Well, the source mentions things like division or temptation, maybe even destruction.
Wow. So small crack, potentially big consequences.
That seems to be the idea. It's about gaining some kind of influence and, importantly, transforming your life.
Transformation. How so?
It talks about putting off the old self, embracing a new way of living.
Right.
And this verse fits in there. It suggests your sort of moment-to-moment choices, your attitudes, are crucial in either resisting that influence or potentially giving it that little bit of access.
These like tiny vulnerabilities directly to our big picture personal change. That's interesting.
It is. When you're dealing with negative emotions or reactions.
Like what specifically?
Well, it points to things like anger, bitterness, resentment, maybe unforgiveness.
The heavy stuff.
Yeah. When these feelings aren't, processed or handled in a way, it recommends.
Handle how?
Well, in what it might call a Christ-like manner. If they aren't dealt with like that, they can actually become these vulnerabilities. They create the foothold.
Something that feels purely internal, like me just being angry or, holding on to some bitterness.
Right.
That could unintentionally be like opening a door for something negative. That seems counterintuitive.
It can feel that way, but the thinking in the source seems to be that these unresolved internal states, they act almost like an invitation.
An invitation?
Yeah. Like if you let anger just fester or harbor bitterness, it clouds your judgment.
Okay.
It disrupts your peace, strains relationships, maybe distracts you from positive spiritual connection.
Right. It creates a kind of internal mess.
Exactly. An environment where negativity or discord can just take root more easily. So the warning is really a call to like regular self-checks.
Self-checks.
Yeah, looking at your inner reactions, dealing with them constructively so they don't become that access point.
Okay, so it really brings it back to managing our inner world. Personal responsibility.
It absolutely does.
So it's encouraging you to be, what, intentional, vigilant.
Both. Vigilant, yes. Guarding your mind, your relationships, your actions. Living according to its truth, things like holiness, obedience, not just as, good rules,
right,
but as an active form of spiritual defense.
Defense mechanism.
In a way, yeah. This lifestyle, in the source's view, helps you resist what it calls negative external influences or schemes.
Okay.
And it cultivates an environment where, peace and well-being, the kind anchored in God, according to the source, can actually thrive. It's basically saying, live alert, stay grounded in truth, and don't leave any room for that negative influence to grab hold.
Okay, so let's try and pull that together from just this one verse.
Yeah.
The core message seems to be about, vigilance, like you said, and a really deep sense of personal responsibility. It connects things that feel really private, like unresolved anger or bitterness,
right,
directly to creating these potential weak spots, these vulnerabilities.
That's the connection it makes.
So that dealing proactively with those internal things, living intentionally, guarding your inner life and your outer actions, it's not just like good advice.
Yeah.
It's presented as a vital spiritual defense, something that clears the way for peace and, power, as the source might put it.
That really captures the heart of what the source is teaching in this passage, I think. It's a sharp reminder it gives about how much significance it places on our inner world.
It really is.
Yeah.
Which kind of leaves us, and you listening, with this thought drawn straight from that source idea that our internal responses can create these openings. considering this whole concept of actively not giving access, what part of your own inner life, maybe your typical reactions based on the principles we've just unpacked from this source, might be unintentionally creating an opening that needs your attention, needs guarding?
Yeah, definitely something worth reflecting on.